until lunch and we're going to play. And 17 minutes until, I realize that. I realize that's how it goes down. So what we're going to do today is considerably more interactive. Considerably more interactive. So if you can sit near the three guys, or the two other guys that are in your group, or one other guy that are in your group, that's going to make it easy because we are going to be cycling through groups. You guys are actually going to be coming up here this morning for a minute. Not for long, but I'm going to try and ease you into the afternoon. Okay, so what we're going to do is kind of a cool exercise. My wife hit me too that she used to do it jazz camps many years ago, and I've seen it done in a variety of different subtle variations, and I'm going to again make some subtle variations, but I think you're going to have a lot of fun with this. And the best part about it is I was able to get everything you need on one piece of paper for today. Can you believe that? I tried to use big font. That's all I'm saying. So no more having to pay extra baggage fees to get home whatever I printed out for you. Okay.
Thanks,
Laura. We're a few minutes late getting. I wanted to start at 9:30, and we're going to need all of the time we have this morning. So I'm going to try and go ahead and get going, and I'm going to start. I'm going to kind of hand these out and let you guys. I'm going to start over here, and can we pass them across? And hopefully I've got enough. I know I have enough. It's just whether I hand them out properly. I'll give you some there, and then come over here. Pass these around. Just pass those down. They're all out, so if you don't have one, ask somebody who's got some.
There you go.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know this is going to sound like a silly question, but I need one. One of those was supposed to be for me.
Any reading glasses?
Griff, I got a pair. It's upside down.
That was upside down?
That was right.
Who's got the pile of them? Who's got the pile of them? Hey, Doug, let me have one. Let me have one of those. I don't have those one.
Thanks, Griff.
Everybody got one? Everybody got one? Anybody not have one? We should have some extras, so. Anybody not have coffee that needs it? Or a muffin? I think I could probably get the server service to service with a smile. And she's cute too.
Tip her well.
Thank you.
Shoes are forthcoming. Shoes are forthcoming. All right, so everybody feeling good? Who's nervous? Yeah, just about. Who's lying? Okay.
Who's still drunk?
Who's All right, so a lot of you, did anybody not come to a small group session? I think everybody came to a small group session, right, yesterday? Anybody not? We don't have anybody extra. Okay. So I think I had this talk with almost everyone about, I often use this analogy of a baby learning to talk with soloing. And I know you guys have heard this, and I know that I harp on it a lot. That's because it works really well. And what we as guitar players do that babies don't do is we scatter. We try and learn 20 words on the first day instead of one. Most of you guys, I probably made that joke, that you go out and you buy a DVD from Truefire on 50 blues licks you have to know, and I said, I don't know more than 12. You just change the last note. It's the same, they're all the same. There's not that many licks out there. Okay, so what I want to do today is I want to focus your attention and get you to take one thing, one thing that you're going to say, one phrase, one word, whatever you want to call it, and work that and make it yours. Does that kind of make sense a little bit? Okay. So if you look at the very first lick on there, it's probably louder than it needs to be, sorry. So this is think of a slow blues in E. Okay? Keep that idea in the back of your mind. This very first lick, okay, a lot of you guys heard this yesterday. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Just like that, okay? So, get the idea? Make sure you can count it out. So if you can't tap your foot, 1, 4 and 1. You try. Dun, 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 and me. Now you try. Good. One more time. Good. Let's speed it up a little bit. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Not bad. All right. All right. I don't hear any errant notes. Everybody feel like they got that? Anybody feeling like I can't possibly play this ever? Other than LP, anybody feel that? Yeah, that's because you're still drunk. All right. So that lick, that first lick, is very, very easy. That's on purpose. Okay? It may be that that's the only one of these three that you feel comfortable playing. And if that's the case, then that's where you live this weekend, and that's absolutely okay. What's important is that you hammer that until it's yours and you got it. Okay, so if nothing else, you walk out of here being able to say that and say it with authority and say it well every time. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay, good. Oh, we're actually going a little faster than I expected. But we got 2 more licks to go too, so. All right, let me play this one through a couple times for you. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Sorry, I can't read my own writing. 1. That's not it either. Hang on. What was I thinking?
Count it out.
Yeah, I wrote it on. I didn't intend to write it on that beat, but that's all right. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1. 2, 3, 4 and 1. All right, you try 3, 4, 1. All right, I'm hearing a lot more notes floating around. Listen again. And 1, 2, 3. Your turn. 1. Better. 3. Listen to me now. 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, we're getting closer. 4 and 1. 2, 3, 4 and 1. Not bad. That's pretty good. Let's try again. 4, 1. A little faster. 3 and 4 and 1. time ever going to play this lick. But most of what I'm hearing is good.
It's remembering it 5 minutes from now.
I understand that all too well. Let's do it a couple more times and make sure we really got it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4. Your turn. Again, and 3 and 4 and 1. 2, 3, 4 and 1. And 3 and 4 and 1. Good. All right. Does that make sense? You guys are doing great, man. This is awesome. Yeah.
On just after we bend up and we come down on the 5th fret, we bend up, we come down, then on the 3rd fret, we picking that note?
Yes.
Yeah, picking that note.
Yep. You could, his question was, you have the bend up and release on the 5th fret and that second beat. The 3rd fret after it, the G, do you pick it? You could pick it. I did. You don't have to. You could pull off to it. It would be fine. You want me to do it slower? Sure.
Okay.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Yeah, okay, what's that?
You just do it without picking on the G there.
Without picking the G?
You just pull off to it.
Sure.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing myself, you know, I just
That's fine. Yeah. You can pull it off. I don't really get, I should tell you guys, I never, ever get hung up on whether or not I should pick or pull off or whatever. It's just not that important. If it's more comfortable to pull it off, pull it off. If it's more comfortable to pick. Just do whatever feels good and sounds right to you.
Is that really a full step bend? It sounds like it's a half step bend.
That's a full step. Yeah, I'm doing a full step. You don't have to. Again, you can do a half step bend.
It's still a key.
It'll still fit in the sound, yeah. It'll still be it'll be the blue note. But yeah, if I do it, if I'm really adamant that it's full step, if it's half step, you know, you can slide it too. There's a lot of options. So if you find that you have a hard time bending that, I probably like the half step better, to be honest with you. And that's another thing. You know, again, no lick is meant to be. It doesn't have to always go just that way. You know, that's how we take these and how we make them our own. So I prefer the half step bend. If I was doing it, you know, if I was going to do this, and I play this. I mean, these licks are, you know, 30-year-old licks. It's not like I made these up, you know.
Did you actually intend to spill that extra little thing on the quarter note there? Did you do a quarter note or was it a third note?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
To get the like this. Okay, this right.
Yeah, I would generally play this lick just a little bit different, and that's why it tripped me up right at first, because I thought I had written it the other way I usually play it. It'll work great as is, you know, but if you want to shift it a third of a beat one way or the other, you might like it better.
I keep wanting to do a half step.
Yeah, I mean, there are things, for example, well, his question was, you know, how might I vary this? If I really was going to use this, you know, how might I do that, okay? So, if I was playing a blues, that's how it's written. For example, okay, you know, so, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2. And basically what I did there is I just moved everything by one beat. 1 and 2, and it's actually by 2/3 of a beat that I moved it. So So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and So I basically moved it 2/3 of a beat. It's really awkward to read if I do that. You know what I mean? You've got all these ties and crazy stuff and it looks really uncomfortable. That's kind of my feeling on the lick, right? Yeah. So, I do. You know, like I say, I always encourage, you know, try and move licks. I didn't intend on getting too much into that this morning, but you know, there's a great exercise that you can do. It's a little bit complicated with triplets because there's so many places things can go. But you can take a very simple lick, you know, 1 and 2 and, okay, and it's just. Okay, now I'm playing it right on the downbeat, but if I move it, instead of starting on 1, I start on the middle of the triplet, the ands, 1 and 2 and 3 and it's a totally different lick, 1 and 2. Or if I started on the 1 and 2 and 3, and it's a totally different lick, 1 and 2 and. So I haven't changed any of the notes. I've just moved it through where I started. Does that make sense? That's you know. There's exercises and stuff. I almost put it in the pentatonic scale. Maybe I did put it in the pentatonic thing, where you take the scale and go, you know, instead of going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, you go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and, or 1 and 2 and 3. So you take the same lick and you cycle it through every beat. I can't remember if I put that exercise in that course. Is it okay? Yeah. So again, it's just one of those things. You know, it's constantly harping on the timing. You know I always hype on the timing and the rhythm and stuff, but that's how these licks get created. You know, it's like a roadmap. I know I have to end up here. You know, it's that whole thing I was talking about between the reactive and the progressive or proactive soloing. I think I had that conversation with everybody, right? You know, in order to be proactive and to be playing ahead, you got to plan for it. If you don't know what beat you're on, and you don't know how many beats your lick takes, you don't know when it's going to end up. I mean, it's pretty simple math when you get right down to it. If I know that I'm on the end of 1 right now, and I'm going to play a bunch of eighth notes, I got 7 more before the end of the bar. It's just, that's it. There's only 8 eighth notes in the bar, and there's only ever going to be, unless some strange thing has happened. So, if you know that your lick has this many notes, and they're all eighth notes, you need 8 of them to do that thing, to go from the end of one bar to land on the downbeat of the next one. You need 8. There's no getting around it. So if you can kind of keep that stuff in mind, that's how you can plan ahead. But I don't want to get too carried away on that right now. I just want to kind of throw that out there. So are we still feeling pretty good about the second lick? Let's do both licks now. So I'll do the first lick. I'm going to play it, and then you respond. First lick. You forgot the first one already? Well, that's why I'm going back. I know a lot of us are, let's face it, we're not spring chickens, so. Lick number 1 first. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 4. And now you. One more time. Oh, sure. Now you. Now lick number 2. 2, 3, 4. Now you. Good. 2. One more time. 4, 1. Now you. 3 and 4 and 1. Nice. All right. Good job. I wasn't sure how well that was going to work out. That makes sense. You want me to give you a run? I don't know how to conduct it. Hey, Laura, where'd she go? She knows how to conduct. Do you guys know my wife's a band director? Does everybody know that? I'm gonna brag on her because she's not here. But she was the junior high band director here in this district at El Cerrito Middle School for many years, and before that, at Pioneer Junior High in Upland, and before that out in Arizona before we met. And she really has an amazing way of working with junior high school age kids and getting amazing things out of them. It's so neat. I used to go into the first day of class with a video camera, you know, and record, and I mean, it was just huge, awful cacophony, you know. And then at the end of the year, they play these really amazing pieces, and it was really an impressive transformation. So And she got Teacher of the Year actually for our entire school district, every school in the district, for the 2010-2011 school year, I believe. So anyway, she wouldn't let me say that while she's here, but.
And she's good at giving cats away.
And she's good at giving cats away. Yeah, her sister-in-law had a bunch of cats, and fortunately, Rue and LP took them. And I didn't have to take any of them. That was the best part. All right, let's see. And she brings me water. All right, let's take a look at the last lick. Now, the last lick is one of my all-time favorites. But I know it has a few notes in it, and it's a little bit longer. But I probably played this one a dozen times last night. So, and you hear me play it all the time. So, here it is slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay. So you notice I'm playing the 3rd fret on the 1st string. Then I've got open 1st string, 3rd fret on the 2nd string, and then open 1st string again. So let's break it down into just that. So it's 1 and 2 and okay. You got that? 1 and 2 and 3. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Is that making sense? Anybody lost yet on those first 4 notes? I see a lot of people concentrating.
The way you're playing it almost sounds like they're equal.
They are.
But isn't that a triplet and an eighth note?
Well, it's in 12/8 time, so all 8th notes are equivalent. It does on the first. It does on the first line, and I forgot to rewrite it on the other 2. Sorry about that.
So all 4 of those notes are equal?
Everything's they're all 12/8, so all those 8th notes are equal time. And actually, even if it were triplet time, they would still all be equal. Even if it were 4/4, and those were 3 triplet groups, they'd still all be equal. Yeah, assuming I put the little triplet symbol over it. You mean the quarter rest? Yeah, it would be an 8th rest. If I were in 4/4 time, I should have wrote that as an 8th rest. Yeah. But yeah, that's probably it would have been a lot more complicated than 4/4. So everything's in 12/8. If you need to write that down to remind yourself, sorry, Sibelius doesn't automatically put the time signature. It figures it's all one score. It doesn't know that these 3 examples are not related. So it only writes the time signature on the first line, and I forgot to put it on the other ones. It was probably 2:30 in the morning when I was doing it. All right, so no, I actually did this Thursday, I think. All right, so let's go through a little bit more. So we have 1 and 2 and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide into the 4th fret on the 3rd string. And to me, this is the hipness factor. Yeah, I can go. Okay, so that's the right notes. Okay. But tell me this doesn't sound better. Those quick little slides up to the note and back down to the other note, that's what really makes it cool, yeah.
What finger are you using to lead your sliding?
I'm doing the slide and the note with my middle finger. So what I'm doing is when I get there, my middle finger is I'm gonna pluck at the 2nd fret and instantly be to the 4th. Does that make sense? And then you can start playing Jerry's Breakdown. But Arnie would dig that. He'd be like, I know that too. Okay, so so we're gonna slide up into that 4th fret, and then the 3rd fret, just like my 3rd fret on the 2nd string. Now I wrote the next note as the 5th fret on the 2nd string, but if you like the ring on an acoustic guitar, I usually play that note as the open E string. Okay, so it would be, and I get that cool over ring. With overdriven guitar, not so cool. On an acoustic, for example, or a clean guitar, though, potentially very cool. And then my middle finger's already at the 4, so I just pluck it before I move it down to the 2nd. Does that make sense? Did that answer your question? Yep. I'm just letting it sink in for a moment. Talk amongst yourself. Yeah, well, that's about 700 different. I mean, if you go listening through your record collection, you'll find that same lick all over the place. You know, I don't make this stuff up. You know, he was saying that that's from a Pink Floyd song. I'm sure it's from a Pink Floyd song, and an Albert King song, and a B.B. King song, and a Stevie Ray Vaughan song. I mean, I can't even count how many times this move comes up. When you guys might be interested to know, when I originally wrote Blues Guitar Unleashed, I was listening to a lot of Clapton at the time. It just so happened that it was kind of that, you know, From the Cradle. You guys know that album, Eric Clapton, From the Cradle? So a lot of my blues licks do come from him, and Eric Clapton does this move all the time. All the time. So if you're looking to find it somewhere, just put on any Clapton album, and if you can't find it, let me know, but I can't imagine that you won't find it in several spots. It may not be in the key of E, but it'll be somewhere. Actually, let's see, Pride and Joy. You know, it's that kind of thing. It's just, it goes so, it just flows. This lick just flows. So let's see if we can put it all together. So I'll do it slow first, and then you try and play it back to me. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and ba ba da da do 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 1 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. Good, all right. Nice job, guys. Nice job. Nice job. Everything making sense? A little bit? A little bit? All right, shall we go through all 3 of them? Let's go back. Let's go through them all 3 now, right? So, again, I'm going to play lick 1, you play it back. I'm going to play lick 2, you play it back. I'm going to play lick 3, you play it back. Good? Yeah? Now, if any of these licks, if you can't play the whole thing, okay? For example, that last lick, I know it's a challenge. So if you just do, and then you wait those other 2 beats, great, no problem. It's still a lick. You don't have to finish it. It's still a lick. It still counts. Okay? For what we're going to do coming up, it still counts. Just saying. What's that? There's not a page 2, there's a phase 2. There's many phases to my madness. All right, so here we go. Let's take it a nice little bit more comfortable. 1 and 2 and 3 and lick 1, 1 and. Sorry, I actually played that a little bit differently than I heard it. I'm sorry. I wonder why I heard so many strange things come back to me. My glasses could probably stand to be just a little bit smaller. Let's just take care of this right here now, shall we? I know, how many of you guys have never seen me in my glasses before? Probably a fair number, but I guess I do videos in them now. But yeah, this is a new thing for me. So about 6 months ago, I was going to plug my amps in. It was getting to the point where when I try to plug the speakers and the effects loops into the back, I'd have to, the amp was against the wall, right? And so I'm like, oh, it's weird, I can't see it. So I start tipping it. This started happening a few years ago, and I'd tip it a little bit. Okay, then I can see it, and I'd plug it in. Well, it got to the point where I was knocking the amp. The amp was on the floor before I could read it. My arm was no longer long enough. They write effects send or speaker out. It's about 4-point font on the back of those amplifiers. What are they thinking? Come on, don't they know we can't see that?
We're going to teach you something now. Use a piece of colored tape.
I do have that. Yeah. He said use a piece of colored tape on my live rig that I travel with. Absolutely, because I've got all my cables are color coded, and all the places they go are color coded. So green goes into green, yellow goes into yellow, red goes into red, and I'm not going to think about the rest. Absolutely.
It starts right after your 40th and it gets worse.
Yeah, 41. I'll be 42 in October, so
It's the second thing to go.
I can't remember the first thing. All right, let's speaking of the memory going, let's see if I can play this lick right now. All right, so here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and lick 1, 1, 4. Now you turn. All right, lick 2, 1, 2. Now there's a little bit of confusion there on when to start. I can sense that. Because that lick ends on beat 1, there's one of two ways to handle this, okay? You could start literally right after I end. Okay, you could sort of ignore that. Or you could wait out those rests. For our purposes right now, let's wait out the rests. Okay? So here's lick 2 again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Good, one more time. And 3 and 4 and 1. Good, let's do lick 3, 4 and 1. 1. Again. Good. All right. My friend Terry has a group he calls the Wire Choir, and it's like 4 guitars, 5 guitars, 6 guitars. They do these pieces arranged for multiple guitars, and yeah, when they practice, it sounds very much like that. It's just cool. I dig it. Okay, so here's what you're going to do now. At this point, I want you to. I'm going to give you just a few minutes to noodle amongst yourselves and choose one of those licks that really resonates with you based on where you are, what you feel like you can remember, and what you feel comfortable playing. So if you're at a point where that first lick is where you want to live, then take a few minutes and practice on it a few more times. I want to see lots of foots tapping, because I want to see you keeping your beat. If you feel like the second lick is a little more your speed, get a bend in there, by all means. If you like the third lick the best, then do that one. I'm going to give you just a couple of minutes, and then I'll fill you in on the next stage.
He's gonna do 3.
I need a little bit more time.